second. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Just let me throw that in there real fast. We got that. That then needs to move just a little bit, and then a little bit like that, and then that's perfect. All right, we're going now. How's it going? Welcome in. Got it all? All right, cool. Headphone part. Joso, how's it going? First one in. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Welcome in. Just getting all going. Where'd I go? Am I here? I think I'm here. I should be here. I hope I'm here. Because if I'm not here, then who's here? Honey Bay, it's good to see you. How are you doing? Oh, there we go. All right. Oops, what happened there? Oh my gosh. I feel like that's a sign. So I was thinking I should do this live in the backyard. That's what I was thinking I should do. And I'm like, I don't know, because then I can't cross stream on YouTube if I do that, because I have to do it from my phone. And I'm like, but I don't know. And then this is my background on my computer, okay? All right, so let me show you. Wait, hold on. Sleeping has always been an issue, but it's more of an issue now. Yeah. That's rough. I'm doing okay. But yeah, so here's my background. All right. Hot air balloons. All right. Just randomly picked hot air balloons. And the thing is that the town that I live in, there's hot air balloons every single morning. And so, and not that many, but like, at least 10, 12 probably. So I'm wondering if that's a sign that I do need to go and do the live outside, even though it's still dark. What happened, Joso? I was trying to figure it out. It looked like everything was working on my end, but I didn't know for sure. Yeah, was it like quiet or loud? Ooh, I gotta plug this thing in real fast. Hold on a second. Are you guys don't scare me like that? What would I do for the next hour? What was it? What happened? I don't know what happened, Joso. You got to tell me like what was going on. Hey Anne, how are you doing? Um this isn't working. Oof. All right, here we go. Oh, just black, no stream. I'll have to check. I think it was working. Um, hmm. I'll have to look at. I don't know. I wonder. But could you hear me? Twin, how's it going? Yeah, maybe. Um, you actually went to sleep last night and got 8 hours. So how do you feel, Anne? Do you feel refreshed, or like me, you just feel like it didn't really matter between 8 and 4? I just get like really exhausted. Oh, are you guys? I don't know if any of you are, because it's a. I think it's just a U.S. thing, but um, know of the Nielsen ratings. What that is? Not dyslexia, but autism instead. Hope we can still be buddies, though. We can absolutely be buddies. Um, I encourage it. um, yeah, there we go. Niels. Okay. Um, my hair. Let's just ignore my hair today, okay? It's gonna be a little messy. Um. Oh, so those of you who are in chat, who were not in chat last night, um, have some special news. Um, but actually, you know what? I just realized that people in Europe that are gonna want to be there are gonna have to wake up early. Tonight in about 12, 14 hours ish, I am going to be doing something on live. I don't think you were last night my time. Not yesterday, not this time yesterday, but last night when I went live. I am going to be playing the guitar and singing a song because I didn't kind of lose a bet, but kind of just made a promise that then somebody actually did the, you know. So, yeah, so I'm going to be singing a song, an acoustic song. I'm going to be playing the guitar and singing. So, yeah. Staying up, that's 14 hours from now, 14 hours and 20 minutes from now. So, yeah. It's now it's not something that I ever actually anticipated that I would do. And you'll notice one of the guitars isn't hanging up, right? It's because it's right here because I just kind of messed with it a little bit last night on the live, but it wasn't in tune, so I couldn't really do much. But yeah, so you don't need to honor me by waking up. Yeah, it'll be 4 a.m. roughly, but see, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You want to see ultimate vulnerability? That's basically what's going to happen. I've like managed to make myself even more vulnerable to you guys by agreeing to do this. But in fairness, I was in somebody else's live, and it's one thing to be promising them, hey, if you sing, then I'll sing. But then when you realize, oh wait, you're going to be doing it in your life in front of the people who usually come and see you. Anyway, so I could tell you the story real fast. I'm not going to say what song yet because here's my strategy. All right, I am going to do an acoustic version of a different song. So of like a punk song that I like, I'm going to do an acoustic version of it. It's going to be slow. You're not going to be able to tell that it was a punk song, but you're also not going to really know how the song goes. So when I perform it, it'll be kind of like a new thing and you won't be able to compare it to like how it's supposed to sound. And so that's my strategy. So it can be a song that I love and it doesn't need to be a song everyone knows, and I can just be. And I don't have to worry about, did I hit that right? Did anyone notice? That kind of stuff. So that's how it's going to be. But anyway, so I think so there's Deanolin. So she comes in. She's a therapist that comes in here every now and then. Actually, quite often. And usually, she'll probably be in this live. Um, but if she isn't already. Um, but anyway, so I was in her live last night and just hanging out. It's actually right before I went live. Um, and I saw she was on, so I dropped in for a second to drop, heart me and say hi and everything. Um, and they were just being like a little fun in there, being like a little weird and everything. So, I was being weird too. And somebody told her to sing. And I said, hey, if you sing, you bust out and sing, I'll sing too. And I really didn't think that she would. And so then I left and did my live, or started doing my live. And then I had a co host request from her. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I accepted it. And she's like, I just sang. So now it's your turn. And I'm like, I didn't see it. Like, I was, and so then I was on the spot and I said, okay, give me a day and I'll add on playing the guitar too so that I can actually prepare. And so she accepted that. So it went from singing last night to singing and guitar tonight. So that's, and I accepted it because I have to be a man of my word. You need integrity, right? And I am nothing if not, well, actually, if I don't have integrity, then I'm not sticking up to my values. If I'm not sticking up to my values, then I am essentially not sticking up for myself, right? So I kind of have to do this, otherwise I'm not respecting myself. But yeah, that's that. It'll be fun. Values are important. I'll tell you, like last year was when all this happened, and I lost my sense of self like so bad. I mean, if you can imagine, like all the confusion that would come from that, and then other stuff. But when I got back to that point where I was like reconnecting with myself, I had to reconnect with like my values and like, beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And I had to revisit a lot of them. But it also made me kind of like re-identify why they were important to me and why I needed to, set boundaries that enforce my values, stuff like that. You know, you finished your brick arch? Awesome. But yeah, so all right. Wait, oh, I forgot where that other thing went. So I'm gonna be singing in the car a lot this morning, and then a lot this afternoon, and then a lot this evening, up until that. And then I am going to give myself anxiety and stage fright, and it's going to be fun. And you guys are going to witness radical acceptance when I just play, because it's just going to have to happen. Like the first three were fine, and then the last one just destroyed me. Yeah. Art Venturer. So, I know you dropped in yesterday, but I do not remember how quick. I know you were quickly in and out. Um, Tonight, in about 14 hours ish, and a little more, I'm gonna play the guitar and sing a song because I told somebody I would if they did, and then they did. So, the other two a week, the last one over a month. Yeah, right? Because it's like you you get excited for doing it, and then like it's that finishing the project thing, right? The 100% done. Like you can have so much momentum, and then it's like boom. Yeah. Half six, 10 Tim's timer. It's 6:18 a.m. right now for me, and it's going to be around 8:30 p.m. ish. So I know, and the thing is I do I do sing a lot. I just I have a very specific range, um, like, and not too many songs are in that range. Um, so then I usually have to pick something that is going to have either something like a little too high or something that gets a little too low in it. Um, it like I can never find like the right balance, but I've never like actually like done vocal lessons or anything like that. Just um, so it'll just be it'll just be regular person who has a guitar singing, who's not a professional. To make a list in your range. But see, here's the thing: I wouldn't even know like how to tell it what my range is, because again, no formal like vocal. But I mean, like I understand like music and pitch and all that kind of stuff, and tone and everything. But I also don't really feel like I have a good inner recognition of my voice. Tone, yes, but my voice, um, I don't know. Oh, there's an app that gives you. Which app is it? Maybe I can use ChatGPT to prepare me for tonight. Hey, my brain doesn't work today. It's been too well today for sure. So you, like, your brain's not working today because things have been too normal, Anne? Um, yeah, but what? Just let my emotions go wild. Yeah. What do you mean you just let, I need to set an alarm? What for hours from now? What were you saying? I just let my emotions go wild. Oh, with singing. Okay, yeah. I don't. I'm not going to be like super passionate singer, any of that kind of stuff. You can expect the same amount of emotion that you see from me regularly. Okay, which is not going to be much. But here is the spoiler alert. Okay, on what kind of song it's going to be. It's going to be a song that you won't be able to tell was originally a punk song. So unless you're into a certain type of punk rock and then happen to know that this was originally a punk song, you're probably not going to recognize it. So again, it's a wonderful song. I love the song. In fact, my daughter sings it to, like, she knows every word and she sings it, and she sings it passionately. Um, and it's a love song. So it's going to be that kind of thing. It's going to be a love song, one that my daughter and I sing almost every day. My son's learning the words too, so it'll be fun. And then, and then, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have my daughter join, so she can watch. So she's not actually gonna be with me, but I'm gonna try and get it before she goes to bed, so I can at the same time sing to her before she goes to bed. So hopefully we get the guest appearance of her joining the live, if I can get her mom to allow it. We'll see. So that'll be fun. Not to induce anxiety, but I'm coming to see you perform in another light, not about the song. Yeah, I understand. um, yeah, it's but here's the thing. Um, I know what I'm doing to myself, what I could potentially be doing to myself, right? I could be giving myself like so much anxiety right now. I am practicing distress tolerance because really for me, oh my gosh, it is nerve wracking. Like I have never performed a song online, and I've been online for freaking 30 years, okay? Um, I've never just randomly, even in person, picked up a guitar and sang, okay? That's not me. Nor have I just sang a song in front of people. Anytime I've performed, it's been on a stage with other people. And so it's a very big, like, out of my comfort zone thing. Um, But yeah, Yahoo Chat. Are you talking about things that existed 30 years ago? Um, but yeah. Um, so yeah, it's funny because my first professional career job that I had, Yahoo Chat was the like unofficial official messaging app that they used, which was kind of odd um, because it was also like a very 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 big company. Um, so yeah. Oh, you do? So for me, Yahoo Chat wasn't the one that I used um, like that often. In fact, I probably used it the least. Um, AOL Instant Messenger was like always like number one, but that was because like AOL was like one of the first. Like we had AOL for so long. Um, Plus, they were, I think, relatively like one of the first ones to introduce a thing like a buddy list, right? I think the whole idea of buddy lists was like an AOL thing that eventually everyone else caught onto, and now they exist everywhere. But I remember that they used to have instant messaging, but you would have to look up manually to see if people were online. There wasn't like an actual pop up that had a list of your friends until like one day they did that. And it was like, oh yeah, there's this big part that's missing. Um, but I had AOL, I had ICQ. I still remember my ICQ number. Um, but there's a lot of twos in it. In fact, so seven, and out of the seven, five of them are twos. So it's a very easy one to remember. Um, or you got that MySpace? You know what? I could probably find, because I'm a digital pack rat, okay? And if you're a digital pack rat, you know what I mean, which I have computer files from 30 years ago still. A lot of screenshots and a lot of weird things. I could probably find pictures of my MySpace profile, like what it looked like and everything. Would you guys like me to like maybe dig around and then you can see like an embarrassing thing while we're just kind of like hanging out? Like I could look and see if I can find my MySpace, like a screenshot of it, what it used to look like. Uh, um, I actually think I came across it a while back, so I might be able to find it. I don't know. Who cares, right? Well, I'll just see if it happens. You wish you had a MySpace relic. It's one of those things where it's kind of like a relic of the past that we try to forget about. You know what I mean? Um, you know, kind of like I don't know, the iron lung. Um, let's see. Where are all those? Can't even remember where I stored my files. Your spiky fidget? Okay, okay, awesome. I gave one of my friends one of them yesterday. I forgot I need to ask him how he liked it, but those things they're so good. How do you like it, Anne? I know who was in my top eight. I know that um, because I think I would just put my siblings, and then like I would make sure that I wasn't being biased towards any friends or whatever, so I'd load it up with like family. Um, let's see. Okay, this is where those things are gonna be if I do have it. Um, Man, there's so many embarrassing things in just this folder that I'm in right now. Um, this file that I'm highlighting right now is from October 2nd, 2005. Just a random file of something. Let's see. Oh, I still have I know, right? I have files on my computer that are older than you. Um, so a while back, there was this HTML that you could put in comments that would make it look like Tom was commenting on your profile under the comment below you. I saved the HTML code that would allow me to do that, and so I still have that, even though they patched it like after a couple days. But I just like came across it. It's funny. Let's see. So many old things, but I'm not finding a MySpace one. So just keep trying. Tom. You guys remember Tom? We were all friends with Tom. Tom was like always there, you know? Just writing on that whiteboard. Okay, not that one. Isn't there a high chance it's working today because of too many patches since then? That they like changed all the software on it, so it's not even like the same site anymore. But actually my profile is still there. There's just like a lot of broken links and like none of the original text is there, so it's not like truly there. But it just like exists, like a version of it exists somewhere. And yeah, but here's the thing. So I professionally speaking, I was working one time and I had to get a demo of something from like a vendor, right? And I ended up, working with them on what it was, later on. But the guy who I met with, the salesperson, he was working with MySpace on something, and he like gave me a heads up that like, hey, they're gonna be, like you have like a month if you want to like save all your stuff, And I was like, oh, okay. And then like, yeah, a month later, like they deleted like all everybody's messages and stuff. And so I at least got to save a few things. It was just like, because that's where I met my soon-to-be ex-wife. And so at the time it was like, oh man, like we have all our early conversations around there and stuff. So I wanted to save it. So I was really glad that I got like a heads up from that person. Now I'll just delete it. Okay, more files here. All right, cool. This one will probably have it because this is a much bigger folder. Did I actually find it here? Oh no. This is this is something I also did a while back. And this isn't malicious. This isn't it's going to sound malicious, but it wasn't. Okay? It was me trying to prove to people that they were being sloppy with how they were logging in. I created, before a phishing page was known what it was, I created a phishing page, but I routed it to where it would reroute the password back to them, and tell them, hey, this wasn't even a real MySpace page, and you just gave me your password, basically a thing, to educate like my friends on it. So I tricked them by putting like a fake blog up, or saying, hey, new blog posted, go here, and they would click it, but it would prompt them to log into MySpace, but they were already logged into MySpace. And so it did that. But it was, again, before phishing was a thing. And so it was just doing all that, trying to raise awareness. But then people thought I was being, like a few of the friends, and I was like, no, it's not that. I couldn't even see what it was. Okay. Man, so many legit, straight up MySpace style pictures in this folder of just it screams like 2000s of just, yeah. 2,000 CDs. That, yeah, I still have like a lot of my CDs, but I lost a lot of them. I think actually a lot of them were stolen, like out of my car and stuff. Let's see. Oh, close. No, that's a different MySpace page. Dang, I thought it was mine. Um, so close. What's this? Oops. This looks like it's from MySpace. Oh, that's just something different. I'll find it though. It's just this computer loads things up very slowly. Let me move things around a little bit, make it easier. Anyway, so what's everyone up to today? Anything fun going on? I have my class in a couple hours. The kids are with their mom today, so I don't have to rush out too quick in the morning, you know. Well, that's that. Hang out with me. That's fun. I'm hanging out with me too, and I'm hanging out with you. And you're about to go to sleep. Joso's painting walls. Yeah. I need a VHS player. So Bean Isness. Is that how it is that? Am I saying that right? I have two kids. I have a 6-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. Actually, a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. I usually do it in age order. But yeah, best kids ever, to be honest. Of course, every parent says that, but all those other parents aren't being honest. I'm the only one that's actually being honest. I also have a list of all those diagnoses plus BPD. You have a 75. You know, I probably have BPD. It just hasn't been diagnosed because, like, yeah, I know 6 comes before 9, but I also like to do. My daughter also came first, so I usually list her first. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have BPD mainly because like a lot of the like traits and everything are things that I definitely relate to. And but the therapy, you know, for BPD, using you know, going through DBT therapy, I'm actually going through like my second round of going through DBT right now, and so since that's like the, you know, the main way of controlling it and stuff, and just as long as I stick to those skills and stuff like that, then it won't really be much, you know, like I won't have to like ruminate on it too much. Yeah, I get it. You're doing DBT? Awesome, awesome. Like, are you in like a group setting doing it, or you want to do it again, Honey Bay? I'm lucky. I'm just lucky that I get to be able to do it again. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm stoked. It's only week. I'm only going into my second week right now, and it's going to be for like probably 8 weeks. Um, Man, I'm finding so many screenshots of MySpace, just not my MySpace profile, because it's usually like things I would screenshot and then send other people or that kind of stuff, and I just would never delete the file. DBT should be taught in school to everyone since child age. Joso is absolutely correct. I'll pen that. I'm just gonna keep penning that over and over until the end of the live. I have live and help coming to guide me. I'm being blitzed. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Um, so you're gonna get like one-on-one and everything? Like, that's so cool. I like, seriously, I am the biggest DBT fangirl like out there for reals. Like, well, you you all know it. Um, it because it's life changing. Like it freaking changed my life. So yeah. DBT is no good if you're around other people that need it and don't get it. Okay, now Honey Bay is gonna be taking over the pin. Because it actually, you know what? It's not true. It it is still good. It just is not fun. It's very much a lot less fun. And in fact, the right way to say it is it's very difficult. Because yeah, you it's that whole like I feel like empowered. Have a great day, Art Venture. Take care. Sleep well, I mean. Sorry. Um but um but it would be so much more effective if everyone had a slice. Yeah, and that's the thing is that like I it makes it so hard when you have sort of this dedication and this commitment to growth, especially within yourself and wanting to be like better, and then wanting to improve and grow, and so then you do, and then it's no longer the same anymore. DBT is so boring for me, but I need to buckle down and do it. Finn, the main thing with it is that you have to like really, really be willing and open to like because a lot of the things will sound hokey, but they're like very real. Um, and you have to be like very like open and curious about yourself. You have to be very like driven by that curiosity of understanding you, because it can get boring if you're looking at it and seeing a bunch of words and seeing a bunch of skills. But if you're going to get curious about how it actually works, that's kind of where it unlocked it for me, was being like, okay, I really want to understand how this works, like, and I'm telling you, I it has changed my life, and I really wish I did not take it at 43. I wish I took it. Well, it wouldn't have been around when I would have wanted to take it. But I wish I grew up with all those skills. I wish I had those skills my whole life. Okay. My whole life, which means every second that people are not learning this stuff is like time that they're wasting potentially having a more fulfilled life without even realizing it. You know, um, Finding out other people had nothing to do with me was life changing. You're not my problem. Yeah. Yeah. Me being able to radically accept like the things that have happened to me, the things that have happened that are outside of my control, was the hugest thing for me, because I carried around decades of guilt and shame, and I was given permission to just not. And that's all I wanted, was permission to just not. And I got that. So my brain is so incredibly sensitive and my nervous system is on fire. Oh my gosh. My nerves are insanely, I mean, I had to create a sticker specifically about my nerves, and I think it's one of the only ones that actually works. Let me see. Human with no skin. Here we go. This one. This was my nerves one that I made. Basically, it's just like a like lightning bolts coming out of the body, because that's basically what it feels like. Your whole body's like shocking, feeling shocked. My nervous system is always like on fire, like always, because I hit burnout. It's very, very, very sensitive. Probably similar to like how yours is. My own voice gets my nervous system going. Last night I had a mix of chills and warm spots, like at the same time. Sorry, I just joined in and can relate personally to each and every one of those things you have there. Hopefully I'm saying Moby right. But welcome in, and you can don't have to apologize. And I'm glad that you're here. And we are, yeah. There's a lot of us who have a lot of these things, you know. Um, and yeah, I think the most important thing is that we, don't keep all this stuff in. That we talk about it because it can be a very lonely place when society kind of tells you to shut up about your mental health, because then you just get stuck in your head. So um, when all this stuff happened to me, I felt alone. And when I found out I wasn't alone, I felt like I wanted everybody else to also not realize that or to realize that they weren't alone also. So that's a big part of it. But yeah, welcome in. And well, bro, I have all these as well. Same diagnosis. See, this is what it's about. Just connecting, because you don't realize how common a lot of this stuff is until you see this. Honey Vey and Being is Ness. Thank you so much for the heart me. And am I saying that Being is Ness, right? I just laid in bed and tried going to sleep. Huh. At the same time, it's so weird. Chills, head to toe, warm sparks mostly over torso area. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, cool. But do you think it was like overstimulation, or I mean like illness? Okay, Being is this. You said something about you create a place of nothingness, of no responsibility. What do you mean by that? Like dissociation? Do I take vitamins? I take like the common ones that I'm told to take for like ADHD, like the magnesium, L-theanine, creatine, few of those things like that. Nope. Okay, well, what is that place then? Because I'm curious what you mean by that. Let's see. You struggle with relationships. Yeah, I mean, going through a divorce. Wasn't going through a divorce before this. Oh my gosh, I found a whole. Oh no, I found a whole bunch of files that were named MySpace, but they're just pictures that I posted on MySpace. Uh-oh. I think I found it. Okay, kind of. All right. So this is, oh my gosh, this is going to be so, you guys are going to laugh at me. All right. So just keep this in mind. All right. And actually, I don't even know if I can't. Okay. I think I can't show this because there's going to be like words on it that might not be good, not because of that, but because of what it is. I'm showing on it also an LA Times article from 2006, but the words on it, and I'm realizing this is when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California, so it's a little weird. But because of this, I'm going to post it in the Discord right now, just the screenshot that I found, and it was when I gave up MySpace for Lent. So I never actually like celebrated or observed Lent, which is like you give up something, until like Easter Sunday from like, Ash Wednesday until then. And so I gave up MySpace, right? I just didn't get on it. And so this was like me showing, hey, I actually didn't log in, because it would show you when you last logged in. So, I'm just going to put it in the general one. So if you want to know where my Discord is, link in profile. And I'm throwing it in there right now. And I would love to hear feedback on every little thing that you see on it that is weird. There's not much. You can't really see much of the profile, but you see part of it. See, in my mind, I've created a place. It's a space for me, allowing me to feel free of responsibility. No responsibility. A gift to me anytime. No one can take it away. I feel like you're talking about dissociation, because that's like the same thing that, I mean, now listen, I also didn't know what dissociation was until I realized what it is. For me at least, and that's how mine is a place literally where emotions are numb, where pain is numb, and where I can like shut down my body, but it's also controlled because it's something I learned to do. I can go in and out of dissociation like whenever, and not shut down as well, but like, well, yeah, it's numbing more than shutting down. So it's like toning down. It's, I would have to go into more detail, but it's part of my trauma response. It's, yeah. Where do you think I had to go during traumatic moments? Into nothingness. But very, very maladaptive, very bad, because that's how the trauma emotions got stored in the wrong place. Because I would go into this dissociative state in emotional distress, right? And, you know, all that other stuff. And I would stay in that state until the pain or the emotions went away. I would never process them. And so that's what basically created this emotional buildup, was because I went there too much. And I would go there and ditch my emotions in there. I wouldn't process it. Oh, you do? That, I mean, listen, you do get into a spot in your brain where, I mean, look at, you can numb your emotions and you can numb all these things, which means you do have some kind of control over your experience of it, you know? I've always had the same freeze and fawn responses to de-escalate every hard situation. Me too. It is, and the thing is like, for me, I look at it, when I look at it objectively, when I'm looking back at myself, I'm like, why didn't I stick up for myself? Like, I always look back at it and I'm like, that wasn't done right. But in the moment, it's like a gut reaction of the freeze and like to quickly just like, okay, yeah, let me please you, right? And then I look back at it and I'm like, that was such like a gut reaction. You know, and I mean, now I know why, you know, but back, you know, back then or growing up and all this other stuff, like it was just who I was, which was, you know, I felt like I didn't have a backbone, you know? Well, yeah. See, for me, I wasn't actually using it as ditching. What I was saying was that as a child, when I did that, I ended up messing it up more for myself because I was a kid doing it. I would go into that state with those emotions, and a lot of times I would fall asleep and then wake up. Sometimes I would just go in there until like I felt safe, and then I would come out of it. But again, it's something I control. So as a child, I believe I used it for maladaptive purposes. Now, I use it the same way you do. So I and I talk with my therapist about it too, because I do worry about the idea of dissociation as sort of like a coping strategy. For me, I don't use it specifically if I'm like emotionally overwhelmed or anything like that. But if I'm like, say, like just like tired, exhausted, or something like that, or amygdala gets hijacked, um, yeah. Oh, but here's the thing. In DBT, you know, they teach the you know, distress tolerance. They also teach, you know, mindfulness. So because my so my CPTSD is from childhood, obviously, talking about all this childhood stuff. Um, the the fear that I get from the CPTSD when my amygdala is triggered is such like a signature type of fear that I can tell when I have something to actually fear, or not really actually fear, but real fearful things are different. So when those feelings come, like, and my autistic brain basically says, "Oh, that's not something. That's just your CPTSD." Okay, which is like one of the times when having these two things actually works out for me. Sometimes they don't work out, they don't work together, but I managed to get to a point to where I could just convince myself, look, if it's this, it's this. If it feels like this, it's this. And so I've even been on live while being in the middle of like a PTSD, like panic attack, where it's just my body panicking, but my mind and talking and everything else, like I'm in my prefrontal cortex, but my whole body's shaking, my whole, I'm feeling choked up, feeling the body sensations of all these emotions, just not emotionally like distressed. And so that's what I'm able to do now when my amygdala is triggered because of the CPTSD, which is so amazing to be able to do that, because beforehand it was just triggered, crying, emotions, all that stuff. Now it's like I'm able to sit with the emotions and feel them. And when it is something that I do need to process, yeah, I will emotionally process it. But for the most part, when my amygdala is triggered, it's not because I need to process something. It's just because it was triggered. And so if I can just not let my brain think something bad is happening and accept that reality is fine, it works. It took a lot to get to that point though, but it DBT really, really, really helped me with that, and somatic therapy exercises. If you are not doing somatic therapy, especially if you're into like all these other like mindfulness stuff, get into somatic therapies, because that's basically where you start to really listen to your body and understand how things impact you. And it is so enlightening. Um, you know, oh my gosh, thank you for the hand hearts. Somatic therapies. I had a bunch of things. I don't think they're. Where did it go? I think it's out there. Let's see. It's that's about the good way to explain it. It's like a so like it's like inner body, like listening to your body kind of work. So like for instance, um I can tell when I'm being overwhelmed, because a lot of people will say it's because I get these like um you know I'll start breathing fast, like that kind of stuff. Everyone will be able to tell certain things because of certain indicators. How far deep those indicators go is more awareness of your body. So some people will say, when I'm overwhelmed, I can tell because I'm like sweating or something like that. Instead, when I'm overwhelmed, I can tell because I can feel my nervous system actually like ramping up. Okay. So I don't, I'm always paying attention to it basically. So I'm tuned in to like basically my nervous system. It's the way, and people have heard about this many times, but the back of my neck, there's this warmth that I get that comes from particular instances. Okay, pattern recognition. That's one of the things. I have sound sensitivity too. Whenever I'm overwhelmed and I hear something like my dog barks or whatever, the pain will radiate through my body. That's overstimulation. That's in your nervous system. So now when I felt that, I actually feel where I feel stress. So yeah, even your voice. That's why I was saying, like, even my voice, I can feel it making my spine tingle. Okay? These are somatic exercises. This is you recognizing how your body's actually responding to the things that you're going through. This is the enlightening stuff, because it gets so much deeper than this. Okay? You can go so much further. That's just one example. Yes. The heat is like a flushing. Very warm right back here, right? Like at the base of the head, top of the neck, right in the middle. That is the nervous system right there. I mean, that's where all your nerves come out. That's where, and the way I see it, it's warm and it hurts right there because a lot of signal being sent down. A lot. Dianalyn, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the reason why I have to sing tonight. What hurts where? I was talking about how I use somatic exercises to be able to keep an eye on my nervous system and the overwhelm, because since I have like sensory sensitivity, and I can feel the physical overwhelm of sound, I was able to then identify the somatic, you know, thing. TikTok just froze. Okay, so Joso, maybe it's you, maybe it's not just you. How do you chill it out? Help me. I'm glad you asked. Um, so how do you chill it out? Literally, for me, I chill it out. I get a cold pack and I put it in the back of the head. I cool down that warm spot. Okay, that is what you need to do. That's what I do. All right, like even right now, like the whole back of my neck is just warm. All right, get an ice pack, put it in the back. All right, that always calms me down. Always, or water in the face, but I just put ice directly to the spot that's warm, because the thing is that people don't make that association. People don't make that association in the back of the neck warmth, that is that. When I asked my kids, hey, when I yell really loud, do you guys feel pain right here? Their eyes got so big and they said yes. Because I remembered also as a kid, when my dad would yell, I would do that, right? But not like yell. I just meant like when I get loud, like not like actually angry, but just sometimes I'll just like speak louder. And they're always like asking me to quiet down, right? But when I helped them make that association in that moment in their brains, they were like, yeah, that does happen. And so it was just something to where it's like, just making these sort of like associations. Yeah, thinking back, chills and warm spots. Oh, really? From last night? Could be, yeah. Water bottle there. Yeah, a water bottle is definitely good. Yeah, I'll find anything cold. Ooh, like when you get like a can of soda out of like the soda machines or whatever, I'll usually take it and put it in the back of my head for a little bit before I open it. Just calm it down a little bit. It's like little things like that, because it'll be like, hey, just a few seconds here to ease my nervous system. Hey, Eve. I have a friend who struggles with overstimulation. Is there anything I can help them? It depends on what's overstimulating them. But I would say that with overstimulation, there's things like stim toys and all that. Sometimes you just got to get up and move around. Going for a run, or even just like, moving your hands, anything to just get energy out. You had an update? Oh, good. Good. Then you can make sure that you're logged in and everything tonight. If you're even there. I hope you can make it though. I'm gonna try and get my daughter to watch, because I know what song I'm gonna do, and she actually sings it with me every day. So I'm not gonna say because it's gonna be a song that people probably have never heard. And that'll make it easier for me, because then nobody will know how it's supposed to go. I'm clever. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a service. But yeah, it's, recognizing those things. I've never actually spoken to somebody who was on MySpace. That's what Sky just said on the Discord. That's a different level of feeling very old. I've never spoken to anyone who was on MySpace. Oh, jeez. I'm sure I could find another. Sorry, Joe. So how do you deal with the guilt of doing nothing? Um, over Over what? Like doing nothing by chilling and relaxing and sitting down and resting? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. You got to remember that you're listening to your body, you know? And so I've even found that at times, unconsciously, when I'm doing something, I'll find myself like going around, and then I'll just go and sit down. And then I'll be like, why didn't I just sit down? And I'll get back up. Sometimes it's like, no, maybe I just sat down because I needed to sit down for a little bit. And I think part of it is that you just recognize like you shouldn't feel bad for doing nothing, because you're not doing nothing. You're taking care of yourself, and you're legitimately doing that, because if you don't do that, you can really, you know, um, not you not harm yourself, but just, you know, have a lot of stress. Oh, there it goes. Is it working now? Um, but yeah, so I would say I always look at I try to always look at when I do have to rest now. Now I try and look at it that way, you know, understanding my overstimulation and everything, and understanding the impacts it has on me. But yeah, um, we got. mm, all right, so I don't think I have any other pictures from my MySpace. So I think most of it is going to be um, lost onto the internet. But I'm sure I may come across something at some point. So yeah. Oof. And welcome back. Um, oh my gosh. Oof. I'm getting warm now. I need to take the sweater off. There's so many old pictures in here. I need to work more on my self-awareness. You mean as far as like just like listening to your body, or just I think a big part of it, of even sitting down, is more just like you have to accept the fact that it's okay, right? And that's the hard thing, is finding that peace to do nothing, right? Finding the peace and the permission to do nothing can be hard, but really it's, you know, the only permission that you need is from yourself. And you're already trying to, you know, just part of you is trying to stop it. um, you know, and that part of you is that guilt. Well, the guilt shouldn't be guiding your life, you know. So I would already say, well, if I had to pick between the two, I'm not going to pick the one that's because of guilt, you know. But that's how I would rationalize it with myself. But that's just how direct I get with myself, you know. Woohoo, Zara, thank you so much for the heart me. How are you doing? Oh, all right, yeah. Anyway, so I'm done with that. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, on my Discord, there's a picture that has part of my MySpace profile in it from will be 20 years ago next year. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love those pens. And just posted some in the Discord, some screenshots or pictures of some pens. But the thing is, I tell myself, the sooner I finish painting these walls, the sooner I get to relax. Yes, but you have to work in bursts too, don't you? And so it's like you can't rush to do it. You have to pace yourself, you know? I appreciate it, Zara. Don't have to be so silent, but you know, you can be as silent or as quiet as you would like. or silent or as loud. Sorry, dyslexia. Um, they arrived today. Cool, cool. Yeah, and then you just move on to the next task, right? So that's why, Joso, you have to intentionally stop. Or when you do find yourself sitting down, say, "Oh, I guess this is a good time to stop." And then what I would do is just like set an alarm for like 5 minutes or something, and just give yourself that 5 minutes. Like even sit down and just like close your eyes or something and just like rest, so that when you hear that timer, you're like, I took advantage of every second that I could to rest as much as I could for that 5 minutes, and now I'll continue. You can do things like that, you know. But I don't know. Where are we at here? Ooh. Seriously, I'm burning up. Um, 11 pairs of chopsticks? Not 10 or 12, but 11. Start small. Yeah. You know, it's the Joso that's a hard thing to do though, because I, like you, just want to get stuff done. You know, like I don't want it to just like linger. Like I feel much better when there isn't something that I have to do, right? Um, and when it's still there, like I just want it to be done, you know? And so that's why I won't stop and I'll keep going and going. So I'm just as bad at that, if, you know, at not stopping, not giving myself a break, not allowing myself those moments. Yeah, and that's just it. Is like if I sit down and I see that something needs to be done, I think it, you know, that might even be the way that I was raised, because I'm thinking about the fact that, like, you know, I worked for my parents. I'm not going to blame everything on my parents. That's not what it is. But what I'm saying is that, like, I'll say that it was my misunderstanding of things. And this is probably confusion that happens when you do have parents who you also work for. Because it's like, you know, that you're, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean kind of thing. I feel like that mentality that I had working at like a young age just kind of like carried over into the other stuff, where it's like, yes, if you're at a job and you are working, you need to work. But if I'm doing something at home, uh, if I have time to lean, it's probably because I need to lean on something, you know, like that should be it. But I think it's my own sort of misunderstanding of how I took how to do things, you know? And so a lot of it can be confusion on my end and just how I took something, which I feel like a lot of things are that way, that I just misunderstood, you know, that I thought was one kind of way, you know? So, uh, um, whew, all right. I'm taking off the hoodie. I can't handle all this heat. Go and guess your favorite food. Tim, go in Discord and guess my favorite food. Okay, well, I'll guess it in here in a second. I get it. Not burn up anymore. Hey, dude, when did you come down? All right. Go in Discord. Guess your favorite food. All right. I'm gonna be on for about another 15 minutes. Am I burning out? I wouldn't say you're burning out. Well, I mean, I couldn't tell you if you're burning out, but I would say that if you're feeling very overwhelmed, you just need to chill out because it's going to be all the same thing anyway. Like the whole solution is the same thing. Slow down, do nothing, intentionally doing nothing. Stare into nothingness, right? Like, I think a lot of those things are just like daily things that need to happen when you are worked up or when you have gone a long time without calming yourself down. And so I feel like you can get yourself into like a chronic state of overwhelm that isn't quite burnout, but can lead to it. So I feel like there's like this long standing part where it's just like a lot. And then there's just like a point where it's just like crash. And so I feel like when it's burnout, it's like you completely stop, right? When it's overwhelm, you can unwind. You can unwound, expensive dog surgeries, new horse. Yeah. It could be a lot of that stuff. It could also just be like temporary stress too, because I feel like I'm burning out because of the divorce stuff, but a lot of it's just like really emotional for me too, so yeah, I don't know. Like it's difficult for me to like kind of see, and it's one of those things where I know I'll look back and I'll know in like 5 years I'll know, but hey Kelsey, how's it going? But do you feel like it's getting better, Joso, or do you feel like oh nope, what's the sound of something? Oh, thank you so much for the heart me. How are you doing? Are you feeling like it's something that can be unwound, or you feel like it's just kind of like there and just getting worse? Thank you for the Go Populars too. Because that's one of the things that because of my burnout that I've been focusing on a lot is trying to reduce it. But I also try and reduce the amount of stress that I take on. So becoming more mindful of how things affect my nervous system. So like if I know, making a sandwich causes, nerve issues, then I'll just be aware of that. And if I feel like, hey, I can't handle any nerve issues today, so I'm going to make a hot dog instead, which isn't a sandwich. Then I'll just do that, because I'll be like, well, I don't have the nervous energy to spend on this today, right? And so that's kind of like what I do when I have that overwhelm is I make sure that anything else that I take on is not going to add more to it. Or if there is something I'm going to have to take on that I am going to need to have nervous energy, then I got to save up and not do other things and, save it for then. Oh yeah, favorite foods. Sorry, I forgot to check it. Do I have to guess before I go in there? Guess your favorite food. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Am I reading it the way that I'm reading it? Just like noodles? Yes, breathe. Breathe. Box breathing. I demoed box breathing last night because we had somebody in here who was having a hard time, and I hope she's okay. She never joined the Discord, but we did some breathing last night. Those specific ones. What is it about those ones? And look at, like, here's the thing. I see the socks and I see like, okay, yeah, totally. The reason why it doesn't initially catch me like as like, oh, you bought socks specific, so that's why you like them and all that stuff, is because there's a burger place here called In-N-Out Burger that's a very signature type of burger place, and they have a lot of merchandise, and they have socks that are the design of their cups. And so I see those all the time, like because it's like a popular place. It's like kids wear them, and like, well, everybody wears them, to be honest. And so it's like you see them all the time, but I especially see them all the time at like schools and stuff like that. So I don't get like seeing socks with the logos of the cups. For me, it's like that's such a normal thing for me to see. You know what I mean? But I think for a lot of other people, it's not. So that's why it was like my reaction was so like, because it's like, oh, I see that too with that. But now I know that you love it because of that. Um, yeah. Um, there's a lot of things that happen here that aren't really normal. And just kind of, you know, live with it. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think fast food here really does either, but it was because In-N-Out Burger was like such a staple, specifically of Southern California. That's really where it only was. And then it grew, and now it's all over like a few different states and stuff, and kind of across the U.S. But it wasn't that way for many years. For many years, it was only Southern California. In fact, I lived in California and would have to drive at least 2 hours to get to one. And so they sold shirts and stuff like that because those places were always packed. And I think now it's just the tradition of every year they have like a different type of shirt, different logo, a different drawing on it or something. And so it's become like a thing. And so it's more tradition than anything. And then they have their signature look. And so the signature look then being on merchandise. And so they got like, if you were to go like look for it, they have like a whole catalog of merchandise. Um, let me see. And out. Cause you'll like, I'll, I'm gonna put this link in the Discord, and you'll see like this is all just for a fast food place. Um, and I gotta actually put context into it, otherwise people are gonna be like, "Why are you just sending this random link?" This In-N-Out Burger has. Um, here we go. But I mean, it's like a whole thing full of stuff. All right. Um, if I would have to describe the type of tism I have, it would be the color green. I live the color green. I I get that kind of. Yeah, kind of. Like I feel like I have a different kind of association, but it is something that could very easily be like a color. Um, but I'm still like doing a lot more exploring. I feel like mine, if it were a color, I don't know. But that's weird though. I'm wonder like, do you look at it that way? Like, is there a reason why you see it that way? And by weird, I just mean like not actually weird, but for me, I'm like intrigued. Um, Green's your favorite color, but yeah, the okay. You feel like a special interest, green or hmm, like a special interest? I'm still trying to like Now I'm like, I feel like I'm not green to color green, by the way. Those are two different things in UK. Wait. Okay, so are you talking about the thing that the like gardening, that stuff? Are you talking about that when you're saying green? Okay, yeah, okay. Sorry. I people refer to that as different stuff all the time. And so now I see what you're saying with that and why that specifically, because the king what, right? Is that what you're talking about? Because I can't say that word. Green and the color pink. Like together? But Anne, please let me know if that's the direction I need to be taking, like my thought process with this, or if I'm going off in the wrong direction, because this would be a weird thing to get wrong. And by that, I just mean like in understanding, like, but now I feel like I said, all right, what process you going? Never mind, forget it. I don't know what you're trying to do, Anne. Are you trying to get me like in trouble here? It's not gonna work. Um, those of you who, oh, honey babe, thank you for the heart puffs. Um, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, um, no, OML. Okay, I need to. What was? Where's Sky to tell me what OML stands for? Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna stop. You don't. I'm sure you're. Yeah. That, stop. I'm not gonna. I'll just. You know what? Just tell me on Discord, where I don't get in trouble as much. Um. Yeah. All right. Just a couple more minutes. Because I'm gonna take a long shower this morning. Uh, oh my lord. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. I'm so used to OMG. Okay. But I forgot that. Don't you people? Don't you people in the UK always call each other like my lord and stuff? No? Oh, okay. Well, well, we don't have merchandise at all of our fast food places, okay? I think I'm gonna start calling people my lord. That would be fun. Milady. Oh my gosh, I'll get the fedora. Oh man. Bye, Anne. Have a good rest of your day. Um, but yeah, answer my question in Discord though. Let's see, direct messages, and I'll just DM. Yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah. I just realized how I am going to actually relax this weekend. Does it have to do with the color green? um, And I offer no opinions on that, by the way. Zero. Because um, that's kind of like what I've always kind of felt like, even when before it was made okay here in California. It was always like, just, I don't have an opinion. Like, um, you know, it was always bigger than what it needed to be, and I was actually more just like the people just should do whatever they want if it's not hurting anyone, you know. But yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, it's just like for me, it's similar to like any kind of experience that you would have where you would not be in full control, where it's like how much control, how much. I think a lot of it is that, it's that there's just that, like, release or whatever, that the moment. But it's like for me, it's never been about that kind of stuff. Because I never like really, I don't know. I can't do that and cut loose because then I'll do it too much, if that makes sense. So when I cut loose, like I cut loose like a lot. So it'd be like, all right, I'm gonna cut loose and like clean the backyard, and then I'll like really clean the backyard, and so like that's why, like, when I have to do something to cut loose, like it has to be something that I need to do and I need to like work on. So like, if I need to cut loose this weekend, I'm gonna clean the garage, you know. But then if it's like, oh, that was a long day, I'm happy. Then like it's like, having some spicy water or something, I don't know. But because I won't, like I said, talk about anything else. Uh, but yeah, so, but these are all things that people need to like, decide for themselves. And definitely, like, I mean, you got to worry about psychotic effects when you have certain kinds of issues, and so I have certain kinds of issues. So that's my only thing. So when I have had to do that, because of illnesses. Because I actually never did until I got sick, and it was like 42 was like the first time. So that year I had to, because I was losing like so much weight and I was not able to eat. Um, and so, you had to use it then. And then, when I started having nerve pain, I had to use it then too, because sitting down hurts. And so, but then it's like you you can get it can get out of control like really easily. Yeah. It's one of the, and that's it, is like it has things that are like, positive effects for like momentary relief. But like I said, if it can also get, you can get addicted to the idea that it helps you feel better or normal, um, very easily, and then that's your way of feeling better and normal until it doesn't, and then you got to do it again to feel better and normal. And I know that it could be easy to get that way, because um, that's how I realized that I had a lot of this stuff, was because I realized that, oh, I can think better. Like, it's clear. I can actually focus, but that also means that it impacts that, you know? So, uh, yeah, Zara, that's exactly what I'm saying. You feel more you on it. Like, that's how you feel normal, right? And so that was something that I kind of, um, I wouldn't, I saw that right away, that, oh, this, I did feel more like me. Like that's really what it was. It was I felt more like me because a lot of the noise, a lot of the other stuff that was happening was just kind of like toned down, right? Yeah. But that's the thing is that it does quiet it, but it also comes back pretty heavily, you know? And so you get that momentary relief, but at the expense of something else. So, I mean, but again, it's like I'm not it there's positives too, but there's like it's just kind of it's like it's this balancing act. And it's something to where with me it's like, oh, there's way too much to think about, you know. Yeah. And I mean, I could just dissociate, you know? I could go to my, you know, that one place where you go. That's what we do, but yeah. Now I gotta look and see if that's Anne's not replying, but I see that she's on Discord. Anyway, all right. Yeah, it's listen. I would not. I would not. I think be alive if I didn't have that stuff for that year when I was sick, because I lost over 100 pounds, and I had to use that almost every day for a year. Um, and despite using that every day for a year, lost over 100 pounds. So, um, yeah. And I think Joso, that's actually what happened with me towards the end of that year. Was I was actually very like distraught by the fact that that was the only way I could get relief from the illness that I had, the stomach issues and everything, because it got to a very very bad spot towards the end before it was found, and I was like, all I do is lay in bed, take that stuff, and then anytime I can actually go downstairs and see the kids, I'm blasted, and it sucks. Like that's my life now, is just being on this, and like or just being in pain, like real bad, real it was so miserable. um and towards the end of it I was just like, I really hate that. Like it's just like my life is just bed or this, you know. And I was just so sick of it too, because like um it was all the time. um because when it wasn't, it was miserable, like really miserable. And so I was really glad to kind of like get a break, you know, after that. But then when the nerve pain started happening, it was like, oh, here we go again, you know. Yeah. But see, the thing is, it's like it I don't it wasn't like, I mean, I don't know if like maybe I would just wasn't doing well. See, here's the thing: I wouldn't actually really be blasted. I would just have to like stay at a certain level like all the time. Um, but it didn't. There wasn't really much of a change or a difference when I got off of it, except the fact that like it was pretty hard. The night sweats and stuff were really hard. Um, yeah, so that stuff was rough. Um, you know, I had to do it for the nerve pain, right? Which I just recently figured out what it is. And so when I figured out, or sorry, when the doctors figured out what it was, um, that's when I was like, okay, now that it's like recognized and figured out, like, and they're treating it, like, I don't have to do that, right? It was mainly just like, I don't know what's going on, and I can't like keep just being in pain with doctors not knowing what's going on. Um, and so, and then of course, not giving me anything to help with it. So I had to stop that, of course, to go into this program. And so, but this time around, I also, because I'm going through things in my life, I don't do it that often. Because, I mean, it's dangerous to do things when you're in emotional spaces. And I'm in a very emotional space when, dealing with divorce stuff and all that. Um, how to do it alone? Yeah, well, I mean, I just, uh, if you need to both physically and mentally throw it away. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, though, I mean, I, I, I don't really keep much of it on hand. So, um, going into it, I basically just used up the last, because here's the thing. I knew that I had to use it for pain, and then I knew that at a certain point I was going to have to stop to be in this program during this particular time, which was also strategically being during this particular time. So everything was kind of like planned in that particular way. But it was good that I was able to figure out the nerve stuff, because then now that they know there's treatment plans and everything, I can have a little bit more faith in doctors, which for me has been really hard because of the last few years, especially that year with the GI issue. Having faith in doctors, I mean, that's part of my PTSD, is that. And so, but yeah, this time, um, it wasn't, it's not as bad, stopping, because it was kind of like a lot less. But the year that I had to do it every day, that was a dreadful, like, time coming, like getting off of that. um and the worst part was, like, I just stopped. And like, when, because I did it all, like, with my doctor knew, like, the whole time. My doctor also knows about, like, how it was for the nerve stuff too. Actually, everyone kind of knows, like, as far as my professional team. And so they were also telling me, like, okay, here's how you taper off of it. I didn't listen. I was just like, no, I'm just done. I'm just done. And so I stopped, and I should have just tapered off, like they told me to. Um, and yeah, it was just so miserable. Um, yeah, but anyway, now we got to thank Anne for getting us onto a discussion about that for like 20 minutes. Getting me onto that discussion for 20 minutes. But of course we knew that was going to happen. Um, yeah, the act of just throwing it away is the key in most battles. It is. Um, yeah, but you do have to. It does take self control, because I'll admit that it was like, yeah, there's definite, like, feel good parts of it. But for me, it was just like too much, too long. Um, over the illness that I've associated with it, So, there's my favorite blob on all the internet. How are you? The best blob ever has graced us with their presence, right as I'm about to have to go. Alex. Oh, wait. So you're tired after school. Hey, how's it going? It's been a while. How have you been? Super tired after school. I am about to get ready to go to my outpatient program, my outpatient DBT one. So week 2, and I leave in about an hour. So I'm about to get off to go take a nice long shower and just rest before I do it. Oh, real quick before I go though, I'm gonna be singing and playing guitar on live in like 13 hours. I gotta let you guys know that, because if you guys find out after I do it, I'm sure you won't be too happy. But it's a thing. I'll post about it in places and stuff. But look at my stories at some point. I'll say something. But yeah, I'm saying it kind of quietly because I'm a little nervous. Singing in the shower. Exactly. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Gonna be warming up my vocals. Being busy getting ready for my course. I'm exhausted, but it's really quite positive. Awesome. Alina, how's it going? Thank you for the heart me. Hey, hey. Oh, I never looked at that thing, but I can do it now. I had such a day yesterday. It was packed. But yeah. No. Alina. Alina. Not Elena. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just I will I just need to like I don't know. This is what I need to do. I just need to make a note. I just need to practice what I preach. That's all. There we go. All right. And I know my writing's terrible, but I got the post-it note and I'm just going to slap it on my monitor. Okay. Like in the center of the monitor. Because it's not like I really have much else to do. I just need to remember. So. It's okay. It's okay. I also mumble, so that's why they're gonna both sound the same. It's just torture, and I'm not gonna call you Wooten. No, you get your name. Nor you froze. Okay, everybody's saying that I'm freezing, or people have been saying that. So maybe it is TikTok, or maybe it is me. But I am gonna have to go anyway, because now I gotta leave in like 45 minutes. So. But yeah, so for those of you, again, I'm gonna be singing in 12 hours and 45 minutes, singing and playing the guitar. So if you want to be here for that, be here for that, because I don't know if I'm gonna post a video. I do not know. And it might freeze. I don't know. What if like my Wi-Fi just accidentally gets cut off? Whoops. Goodbye. Hopefully I'll be able to make it. I hope you can too. But if not, I hope you have a good day, Blob. Oh, look at that. Alina with the friendship necklaces and the donut. Thank you so much. But yeah. Manifesting no freezes. Daughter tripped on the cables. Yeah. At her mom's. And it, yeah. No, power's gonna go out. I mean, the power might go out. I hope the power doesn't go out. I mean, but no, I'm actually gonna try and get my daughter to come into the live, because it's a song that her and I sing all the time, and she's never heard me sing actually, like, and play the guitar at the same time, because it's like there's a certain reason why. Anyway. Yeah, I think it'll be fun, because she and I sing this song all the time. So it's gonna be really cute. Oh, Lena, thank you for the perfume and the finger hearts. Why did it type 3 times? It didn't. Did it? Joso, I think it might be you, because I'm not seeing 3 times. I think. Let me see if that's doing it for me. I gotta check this real fast, and then I gotta go, you guys, because I really do got to get going. I don't know, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you all go then, because well, I gotta go and things are glitching. And anyway, but take care, everyone. Like I said, 12 hours 45 minutes, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, okay, I'll check Discord. So yeah, if you're into that, if not, that's fine, because that's not even what this channel's about. That's more of just me owning up to what I said I would do, which I didn't think I would have to do. And then we'll just continue on the regular lives after that. There's not going to be any other performance. So if anyone tries to get me to play again or to do it again or anything like that, it's going to be a hard no. So, but I also will not start it early. I can guarantee you I will not start early. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't signed up for the Discord, please sign up for the Discord just to even, you don't even have to participate, just hang out. Yeah, just if you want to know when I go live, hit the notification link or the notification bell and set the settings. And then yeah, I go live every morning at 6 a.m. ish for the most part. And yeah, appreciate all of you. Thank you, Joso. Bye bye, Blob, and everyone else. You know. Who do we still got now? Alina, Zara, Honey Bay, all y'all, Andrew. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you all in a little. Bye, bye, bestie.